Hi there and welcome to another Red Light Green Light Reviews bonus travel review. It's Ryan here, and this time we have boarded the Airbus A330 on Qantas business class traveling to Melbourne, Australia from Singapore on the 300, as well as two other flights on the A330-200, one Melbourne to Perth and the other also Singapore to Melbourne. As always with my reviews, they are incognito so as not to influence the experience during my flight. These bonus travel reviews include flights and vehicle rentals, since it is about getting there and also getting around when we are there. So before you book that flight or vehicle, come with me and let's check out Qantas A330 business class. And while we are at it, remember to like and subscribe below. If you're taking the 7-hour flight on Singapore Airlines, Emirates, or even Scoot, their day flights get you in at a decent evening hour. Day flights usually get you in between 5 and 9 p.m. after 7 hours of naps and movies, perfect in time for dinner and however you choose to kick on. On the other hand, Qantas' late evening direct flight from Singapore to Melbourne or Sydney arrives at 5 in the morning, leaving you feeling weary. So naturally, if you can, splurging on business class for that late is a non-negotiable. So will it get the red light or the green light? Stay tuned for the verdict. In May 2022, I snagged seat 6K in the A330-300's single business class cabin, which has a 1-2-1 seat arrangement in an alternating left and right alignment. As a solo traveler on these A330-300s, I always go for the single window seats, especially the ones with an extra little buffer to the aisle. This gives me 6 out of the 28 business class seats on the A330 to choose from. The popular aisle-aligned A1 and AK seats, I find though, are too close to the galley, which can be very visually distracting because of the light and the activity there. Also, that's where you'll find the bassinets. Thomson Vantage XL seats have graced Qantas business class for quite a few years now, with the corporate color scheme of beige, gray, and pine rocking a boxy, angular design. It's like having a personal mini cubicle in the sky compared to the previous long-haul 2x2 space pod designs on the A380s, where lie flat meant lie flat, but on an angle. As for the Vantage XL seat, it is fully lie flat, yes, horizontally flat, with a vibration massage and a lap belt with a detachable cross-body strap for takeoff and landing. Built into the side is a table which swings out into a dining tray. On this trip, which was to depart Singapore at 8:45 p.m., being a red-eye flight, all the business class offerings were laid out at the seat like a welcome party, like in a 4-star tourist class hotel. Dinner menu, breakfast menu, a card, a pen, a toiletries bag, headphones, arrival card, those famous Qantas pajamas, and even the pillow. Sure, it feels a little bit impersonal, but you can appreciate that this is done because of the short flight time. And at least they did hand over a glass of champagne or sparkling wine before takeoff. But seriously, where is that warm hand towel? Let's talk features. You get a 14-inch screen with a camera for seat-to-seat video calls, a reading lamp, noise-cancelling headphones hung from a hook, a spot for a mini bottle of Evian, a magazine panel, in-seat multi-country PowerPoints, and a USB Type-A port. There's also an in-armrest, in-flight entertainment controller and game console controls, and a small mirror but I have never ever seen anyone use these controllers. Leave me a comment if you do. The business class cabin is bookended by a galley and a lavatory cubicle at each end. The rear lavatory is close to but sufficiently away from 6K, just a couple of rows behind and past a curtain. There are also your side panels for added privacy. As for the amenities in terms of the little kit, the items are underwhelming and quite basic. Qantas business class gets mixed reviews from me. Firstly, the footrails are a little bit cramped. The seats are a tad firm, and the cabin vibe can be a bit unsettling with that seat camera looking at you while you sleep and that large opaque cutout for the magazine rack that just looks like a service panel. But hey, that's just a personal point of view. Service-wise, always good, but not quite a level of what you get on some of the Asian or Middle Eastern airlines, where there's a certain extra refinement to everything they do. In comparison, on several other airlines, the crew tends to visit the seat at intervals to introduce the menu, the drinks list, and later offer a turn-down service if you need it, which also allows them to top up your tipple without you having to ask. It's like they're always checking in to see if everything is fine. After takeoff, dinner was promptly served and I ordered the mustard glazed pork with dill potatoes, a substantially sized meal with salad and bread all delivered on the same tray. Dessert was served separately and it was a coconut panna cotta, light, refreshing, and quite a highlight. Breakfast came via the selection cart that was collected early in the flight. A nice hotel-style touch, fruit, granola, orange and green juice, coffee, yogurt, and for the strip an egg and bacon roll, all on the same tray rather than individual courses. Now, this should have allowed for a longer, more complete sleep if the meal had been served closer to landing, but there was still a long way to go after the meal service had finished, and I sat there for about an hour in my half-asleep state. Mid-flight, there were chocolate bars and snacks in the galley, a little unforgettable since I was rushing to get some shut-eye. To this day, I still miss the Byron Bay cookies that used to be laid out in the galley for your snacking fancy. Flying premium economy business Melbourne to Perth on the Qantas A330-300. So interestingly, this seat was sold as a premium economy rewards flight on Qantas as a Malaysian Airlines flight operated by Qantas. I wasn't sure what to expect, but it surely did not disappoint. This time, the seat was 7K within the second business class cabin on the Qantas Airbus A330-200, which has a dual cabin business housing 22 seats in the main cabin and 6 in the secondary cabin. Once again, you get the same Thomson Vantage XL seats as in the A330-300. However, noticeably, the in-flight entertainment screen is smaller and the leather appears a little bit older. As this was a 3.5-hour day flight, there was no pillow, no menus, no pajamas, no amenities kit, or a blanket. Now, lunch was served on a single tray again, and I chose the glazed pork once again, cause it's a winner, baby. Dessert was a chocolate and raspberry mud cake from Manna from Heaven, a locally based family-owned business that manufactures desserts for several airlines. Another highlight of the space is that the 3 windows on each side were all operated by passenger in 7A or 7K, giving it a bit of a feel of a first-class suite that you have on some airlines. Now, the smaller second business cabin is great as its 6 windows are operated by just 7A and 7K, which allow the cabin to get really dark for this short daytime flight. Perfect for a short nap. In comparison, the main business cabin was a lot brighter because of the number of windows there. As for the shortcomings, there was a used seat cover from the previous flight stuffed in a storage compartment, and the sash belt did not retract in my seat. Plus, the in-flight magazine was a little grimy. As for a final configuration for comparison, I flew Singapore-Melbourne on a A330-300 in a dual business class flight that was slightly differently fitted out. This time with 8 seats in the smaller business cabin, with much more direct line of sight to the bassinet seats of the economy. Once again, everything was laid out, and on this flight I chose the plant-based option, udon noodles with dumplings, and regrettably I missed out on the dessert, which was a pandan and kaya dessert of some sort, 2 of my favorite Asian flavors. I'm guessing that this was because of the plant-based main selection. As for breakfast, as usual, I selected my go-to of fruit, muesli, yogurt, Danish, and that good old bacon and egg roll. Always hearty, as between the time of breakfast and the next meal after arrival at the hotel, it could always be about 4 to 5 hours. Now, before the flight, make sure to grab a shower at the Qantas Lounge in Changi Airport, which, despite not changing in more than 10 years, has many large, decent showers with prep to order curry laksa and black rice pudding as ongoing specials, and these are a must. Unfortunately, many newer lounges now provide a more premium experience. So I hope you have enjoyed this review. This is another red light, green light bonus review. Don't forget to subscribe to the main channel so you don't miss out on any updates. Do comment below. I want to know, what was your experience like flying the Qantas A330 in business, or if you found this review helpful. Who knows, your comment might even make it to our next video. Happy travels, fellow adventurers, and remember, tread lightly, especially when you're visiting another country.